Soon-to-be wife, F29, cheated on me, M30, with multiple men. Soon-to-be wife, F29, cheated on me, M30, with multiple men. So, this will be a long read. It is past 2 a.m. right now where I am, and sleep has not been forthcoming. Part of me still does not believe what I have been through, and I hope I am able to come to terms with it someday. More than anything else right now, I just want peace. I am M30. I have been living with my fiancé who is F29. We have been together for 6 years, engaged for 2, and have 2 beautiful daughters, 4 and 2. She moved in a month after our first daughter was born. She led a very sheltered life in a well-to-do family, while I was exactly the opposite. You could call me the personification of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps because that is all I have done so far. I do not remember a time between ages 14 to 21 when I had one single free moment. I was always doing something or the other to make a few bucks. My dad beat the shit out of me and my mother all our lives because he was a drunk bastard and a coward, and as soon as it became apparent I was going to give it back to him because I could match his strength, and I took up wrestling in school precisely for this, he ran off. The cops paid a visit to our trailer park about a month later and told us his body was found, and we celebrated with a drink. Fast forward to a few years later where I made enough money in the oil industry to buy a home. I promptly moved my mother out of that hellhole she was in, and this was the happiest I'd ever seen her. She made new friends, showed me off, and was proud as hell of me. She had issues for which she began visiting a therapist, and that helped a lot. She even joined a book club. She was deeply interested in the Civil War and its various battles, and soon our home had entire shelves filled with books about them. One of her friends brought her daughter along once to the club, and that is how she met my fiancé sometime before I did. Long story short, she got her friend to accidentally meet us with her daughter, and for me, it was love at first sight. We began dating, and before I knew it, it became serious. Her family knew my mother well and knew our story. They respected me and I looked up to them, and they were thrilled for their daughter. Despite her using birth control, she got pregnant, and we welcomed our first daughter. She moved in soon after our first daughter was born. And then another. And then we began talking about marriage seriously. We were always talking about it, but this time I actually bought a ring, did the whole on bended knee bit in her favorite restaurant, and called our families soon after. We were due to get married just before Thanksgiving last year, but Corona pushed those plans back indefinitely. My mother passed due to a heart attack on what would have been the week after our intended wedding date. She died in her sleep, and I know she was happy when she passed. The doctor who examined her said she may have felt no pain, or very little. On Sunday night, I logged in on my laptop, but it just would not connect to the net. I tried a few troubleshooting tricks I heard of, but it refused to work. I then thought that the Wi-Fi card was shot, and decided to use her Mac. I have done that several times before, so there was no need to ask for her permission. This time, however, I noticed a folder that was not there before. Out of sheer curiosity, I clicked it open to see that it contained some videos. I clicked on the first video, and the sound, which was set on max, made me jump right out of my skin. It was a video of my fiancé being fucked by 2 men. I was too shocked even to reduce the volume and just kept watching it in horror. Soon my fiancé heard the moans. She came flying to the room, snatched her laptop from me screaming, "You had no right," and threw it in the corner. I asked who these 2 were, and she said nobody, and began berating me for infringing her privacy. I raised my voice, again asked who they were, and she began crying. Our daughters walked in and began crying too. I was too stunned to even react to them. They ran to me and hugged me while sobbing. She just sank to her knees and began crying silently. I put them in bed and came back to her and demanded to know everything. She then told me that she was seeing a guy right from the time we were dating for the last 4 years or so. Then this guy had a friend who was interested too, so her lover approached her with the idea of a threesome. She agreed, and since then they were meeting up in various places across town and other nearby towns for their sexual escapades. She left our daughters with her family and would go to seedy motels in the area. They recorded their encounters so that they'd have memories to look forward to. I am guessing there is another computer in her parents' place that has even more files that I would have to look at, and some of those files were transferred here recently. I told her we would have to separate, wherein she bawled louder and louder and begged for forgiveness. I told her it is impossible, and that I would need to figure out what is best for the kids. She gave me a look of horror when I said that, and I knew in that instant that either one or both of our daughters were not mine. I asked if she was sure if I was their father, and she looked away and said, "I am not sure." My heart just sank. That was it. Over her protests, I packed a bag and moved out. She tried to stop me, clung to me till I loosened her grip on me, and forcefully seated her on the bed. She just cried and cried. I took all my documents, some clothes, and stayed at a hotel for a night. I called and met a close buddy at a diner last night and told him everything, and he insisted that I stay with him and his family. I have been trying to sleep for hours now, but sleep has been a no-show. Stupidly enough, I did not make a copy of those videos when I should have. I thought of all the porn I watched, and my idiot brain just kept inserting my fiancé between two imaginary guys, with them giving it to her, and her loving it. I don't know what to do now. I guess I will have to DNA test the kids, and then tell her family what was happening. I am so lost right now. Just when I thought I had it made, life bit me in the ass once more. I cannot believe this is happening to me. I thought my life was perfect at last. Edit, oh wow. This really went places. Thanks so much for the various awards, everyone. I finally fell asleep soon after I posted this and saw so many comments and reactions after I woke up a little while ago. I have not been through all replies yet. In fact, I have been through just a few, but please realize this, at no point will I ever abandon those little girls. Even if one or both of them are not my daughters, I will never stop being their father. I love them too much to give them up. A missing chromosome or someone's DNA does not make me an unknown quantity to someone who I have loved for 4 and 2 years wholeheartedly. My ex-fiancée, time to start using that term for her, I guess, used to joke half seriously that she felt jealous because I loved them so unconditionally. But I will get them tested, and I will get myself tested for STDs too. I have to leave for work shortly, but I will reply to as many comments when I can. And I will provide a detailed update too when I have the time. I am planning to go back home tonight to retrieve a few things that will help my case, and try to gain access to the videos too if she has not deleted them yet. My friend, the one I am staying with now, has recommended a lawyer, and I might try to meet him too. Thanks again for the massive support. You truly are the best. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.